Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial. Today we're going to be creating some Betterpress plaid backgrounds using new products from the April 2024 release from Pinkfresh Studio. And the base for both of the cards today are these amazing press plates. We're using the plaid and the diagonal plaid. These are going to be invaluable in your craft stash if you love Betterpress, so you love that letterpress look, but you also love a fantastic basic that's going to work with everything. I am starting with my Betterpress system, and because I want to apply the color all over these A2 panels, I am rolling up a piece of tape, placing it on the back, and then placing it within the grid lines on my Betterpress cover. Then we're going to start with the diagonal plaid press plate here first, and we're just going to lay it on the magnetic platform. I'm just making sure any of the tape and things from the packaging is removed, and then just kind of laying it out here. Now the beauty of this, you can use it as a diagonal, but if you go ahead, ink it up, and then run that through your Spellbinders Platinum, turn the press plate a half turn, ink it up, and then run it through again, you get a plaid. So it really is a workhorse in that you can use it in multiple ways. I'm going to be creating plaids today, but let's go ahead and start with the first diagonal. So you can see that I went ahead and inked it up with some Betterpress inks. These are archival inks, and I love all of the different colors that you can get. It really makes it a little bit more interesting and fun than just black ink. Then you're going to take your whole Betterpress platform, run it through your die cut machine. And then we are simply going to pop this out and see what we have. Now, I didn't go quite all the way to the bottom of the panel. In this case today, that's okay. I actually want my backgrounds to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller, so I'm not going to worry about it, and we're just going to continue because the results are amazing. Now, one of the things that you don't see on camera is the fact that this is a letterpress. It's just a Betterpress way of doing letterpress. So there is texture. It does press that ink into the cotton card panel. I am using the specialty paper that is special. You can get through or from Spellbinders for this project or any project with the Betterpress press plates. So I turned my press plate, inked it again, ran it through, and look at that, you guys, perfect plaids. Now, if you wanted to change the ink color and have a two-tone plaid, you could very, very easily do that. I'm using some archival ink cleaner and just a microfiber cloth and giving my press plate a really good scrub. This is exactly how I clean my Betterpress press plates every time. So I wanted to show that here on camera. So I've cleaned my press plate. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And then I'm going to go on the platform and I'm just going to clean this, give it a really good scrub. You will want to use archival ink cleaner. It does work really well. And so that is what I'm going to be doing all day today. So what I love about these new plaid and diagonal plaid backgrounds is the fact that there are a lot of different ways to use them, and you can use them as stripes or diagonals. You can make plaids, you can make two-tone plaids, all kinds of things. Let's go ahead and take our plaid, and we're going to do all of these exact same steps again. I am even using the same colors. We're using Coastal and is the other one Stormy Sky. I've linked them both down below. I don't know that there is that much of a difference between the colors I used. I probably could have got away with just one of the colors, but I was just playing around with it, and I knew I wanted a blue background to really set off the blue and red flowers. So again, I've inked it up. We've replaced the panel. I have used the tape on the back of the panel rolled up again, and we're going to run that through. When I am working with the Betterpress, I do like to do all of my Betterpress at one time so that I can go ahead and put this away and then work on the rest of the card. Just like before, I've rotated my plaid press plate a half a turn. So it's horizontal instead of vertical now. I'm inking it up again, making sure that I have really good ink coverage. And then we're going to replace the cover and run it through our die cut machine again for a perfect plaid background. I absolutely love, love, love both of these. I think that they are fantastic basics and you're going to love having these. And I accidentally spilled a little too much cleaner out on my rag, but we're going to go with it because once it's out, there's no putting it back. My cleaner bottle, but they do come with a felt pad on the top. Mine actually got damaged and so it doesn't work very well. So I just took the little stopper out so that I could get the cleaner out of my bottle. Okay, I am giving all of the pieces a really good clean now with the archival cleaner and then just wiping them all the way clean before I put my Betterpress system away. Oh, actually, I'm not putting it away. We're going to press now the outline for the Never Give Up set. So what I love that Pinkfresh Studio does is that when they come out with things like Betterpress plates or foiling plates, they still have a stamp set, usually, sometimes stencils, a lot of times stencils, dies, all of the things that coordinate. So you can really pick and choose what you particularly like. I am using the Betterpress plate. So this is the beautiful floral in the Never Give Up set. And we are going to ink this up with the Betterpress black ink, and we're going to press this into 2 additional cotton panels. And then we will be stenciling both of these florals to place onto our plaid backgrounds. And I got a little bit of that black ink all over the place, but that's okay. Now, I often like the Betterpress as an option. You could use the stamp set as well. So if you don't have the Betterpress, and you are just looking at some of the new beautiful floral sets and all of that good stuff, this is an awesome one. You can stamp the stamp set and create similar looks. And just like we have become accustomed to with Pinkfresh Studio, there are often beautiful stencil layering sets that take all of the mystery out of how to color these successfully. So once I have both of my panels, we're going to grab the Altenew stamp wheel and we are going to go ahead and stencil these backgrounds. I decided I wanted to do some blue and red flowers, kind of getting in the mood for summertime type of cards, or for me in the United States, patriotic, although I think this would work for any time. It's not, you know, quote unquote patriotic. It is just more of a beautiful summertime type of card. I love blue and red. And so I am going to start with some olive ink from Pinkfresh Studio and a small round blending brush, and I'm going to apply that olive ink through the stencil. Now, for the leaves and branches part of the images, there is not a layering stencil for this. So while I have my stencil in place, I will go ahead and grab an additional color just to add a little bit of shading to my greenery to make it a little more interesting. And in this case, I'm actually going to go for an ink color that isn't kind of in that trio or of inks from Pinkfresh Studio. We're going to use Tidal Pond, which is more of a very deep dark aqua. And it might be kind of funny looking right now, but when I pull this away, I love how that aqua looks over the green. It always works so well for leaves and things like that. And I really suggest giving it a try if you want to do something a little bit different and fun. I love it. Oh, that's so pretty. Next, there are 3 parts stencils for inking up the florals. We're going to start with the base color. And again, I'm going to do all reds and blues to really coordinate back to our plaid backgrounds that we just created with the Betterpress. We're going to have Coral Reef and Berrylicious as our reds, Summer Shower, Sapphire, and I want to say, cannot remember the color, but I'm sure I'll think of it here in a minute, or I'll show it here on the screen. Again, I am using all small round blending brushes for my florals. And here's that Summer Shower we're going to start with and just give a nice light base color to our flowers. And just kind of keep working up that color until we get the intensity that we want for our design. It's already looking pretty. And then just kind of tilt our stencil and light it up with our background. And why those small round blending brushes come in super handy. These small areas, when you want to change colors, make it so easy to do because you're less likely to get some of that color into those other areas. So I love these when I want to be very particular about exactly where my ink goes. And I am adding some more color here. Let's go in and add a little bit darker blue. Just kind of every other, I want a nice assortment of reds and blue flowers. We're going to go in now with our layering stencil and we're going to start building up the color and intensity. This is the part that's magic. This is what makes everyone a fantastic colorist, which I particularly love. Plus, it is much quicker than actually coloring. So if you love to mass produce cards, layering stencils or layering stamps are the way to go, in my opinion. And now we're going to go back in. Now, I didn't use 3 colors for the red. I just kind of tried to build up the intensity instead, which worked just fine. You could do that with any of your inks, really. And we're going to layer in our dark sapphire color, have our little flower centers. And when I pull this off, look how pretty. Now these are dye inks. As they dry and absorb, it will kind of smooth out just a little bit. Now I am going to do the other background exactly the same. I didn't even clean my stencils. I'm going to go straight in and start inking. Seaside is that mid-toned color, by the way. I can see it now on the screen. Now, once we have all of our stenciling done, we are going to take the coordinating Never Give Up die and we're going to die cut our images. Something else fantastic about Pinkfresh Studio is their dies are not tabbed, meaning you don't have to cut them apart. And I mention this because I think if you're like me, I do cut apart dies often, but I really do appreciate when you don't have to cut apart your dies. You don't have to worry about all those little metal pieces like flying around, you know, your room. Maybe if you have pets like I do, that can be a concern, or flying up and hitting you in the eye. I know there's ways to be careful with it, and I definitely am when I am cutting them, because I do still have some to cut apart, but I do really appreciate non-tabbed dies. So here is our second background, and of course we're going to grab those dies, and in the die set, not only do you get the die that perfectly die cuts this beautiful floral branch, and it's very detailed, so it's going to cut out those little parts and pieces around the leaves and things, but there are 2 coordinating dies for 2 of the sentiments in the Never Give Up stamp set. Speaking of our sentiments in this set, there are the sentiments Grateful for All That You Do, Never Give Up on the Things That Make You Smile, Thanks, and Your Kindness Brightens My Day. For a 4x6 stamp set, that is a lot of fantastic sentiments in a beautiful image. So I really think it is a fantastic value with sentiments that I will use, which I also very, very much love. So I like to tape my die down as I'm die cutting it. And again, these were all Betterpress press plate, or run through the Betterpress with the press plate on the cotton card panel, stenciled on that, and then die cut. So they are a nice weighty cardstock, which I like to use anyway. When I am using more of a basic cardstock, I like the Nina 110 pound weight. So this is very similar, and I just love how beautiful it looks when die cut. Now I'm going to lay each of them out here on my background, kind of look at it. I love it. It's exactly what I was looking for. I think it's so beautiful. An idea I had that I chose not to do, but I do want to mention it. If you wanted to place like a die cut vellum panel back behind here to slightly mute the background, I think that would be amazing. We're actually going to pop ours up with foam adhesive, and that is going to lift it up off the background enough that I think it's going to look really awesome. So I am trimming my panels down now to 4 by 5 1/4, and that is going to give us a nice little white border all the way around. It is time for detail. And for our detail today, after I have my panels all trimmed down, I want to add a little extra something to the backgrounds of my cards. Something I have really been loving lately is taking a text stamp, usually from the same set that I'm using, or something similar, or even an all over text background stamp, and stamping it repeatedly. In this case, we're going to take the thanks and stamp it repeatedly over the background. Now, I don't want it to stand out. I want it to really become part of the background, almost like these are plaid backgrounds with the thanks text. And it's like it's a pattern paper, but you've made it yourself, and it perfectly coordinates and complements the rest of your design. So grabbing an acrylic block, I did just ink it up and stamp that all over my background. And I did accidentally forget to turn my camera on, so I'm just showing you. I took that, used first, second, sometimes third generation stamping, and followed the design. On the plaid background, I followed, kind of that horizontal, and on the diagonal, I did stamp the thanks at a diagonal so that it really worked with the design a little bit better, and didn't try to, work against it basically. On the back of my die cut Never Give Up floral, I am placing a combination of large and small white foam adhesive squares. We're going to peel off the backing paper from all of these and then pop this up right onto our card background. And it really takes up most of the space. Now, there's a lot of ways to use this as well. You can hang it off of the edge of your card. You could and probably get more than one on a background if you really wanted to fill the entire space with a floral. But I do want some of my background to show, and because I feel like it's big and bold enough, I felt like I was just going to place this in the center of my plaid backgrounds and really let it be the star of the card. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful this is. I love it. Now that both of my florals are on the backgrounds, I'm placing them in a spatter box. I use a plastic box. I've got some white gouache. I also have some frozen fog distress mica stain, and we are going to just add a little bit of water to the gouache, and then I am going to use a small paintbrush and tap it all over, creating a beautiful white spatter all over our cards. And I'm just going to tap that off and kind of go pretty big on this. Now, with the distress mica stain, I don't like to apply it through the sprayer for something like this. I will for other backgrounds, but in this case, I'm super afraid that it's going to come out. You don't have much control, is what I want to say. So I like to just put a little bit in my box and pick it up with a paintbrush as well. And that gives you much more control over how much of that product you get on your card. And what I love about this is it's going to add some kind of silvery, shimmery shine to our card, but I definitely don't want it to be overpowering. I want it to be more of a subtle type of thing. So we've got our white spatter, our kind of shimmery frozen fog is definitely the perfect name for it, of spatter, and we're going to let that completely dry. I have 2 white top fold card bases. I'm going to use a bone folder to give these each a very nice crease like so. Then we're going to take some liquid glue and we're going to glue our panels down to our card bases. You could also use tape, but I love my glue press, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop that glue in place and glue down my panels. And I love that instant frame from that white border because we trimmed our backgrounds down. From this point, we need a sentiment and we need some embellishment, and we are almost there. So from the Never Give Up stamp set, I will be using the sentiments Grateful for All That You Do and Never Give Up on the Things That Make You Smile. We'll be stamping each of these with that sapphire ink from Pinkfresh Studio. And I have a scrap of white cardstock here that we will place in the MISTI before we stamp them. I do like to do this step in the MISTI as I might need to stamp it more than once, and in this case I definitely did need to. I did choose the 2 sentiments from the stamp set that have the coordinating dies because I want to have that nice detailed die cut sentiment that I can layer right over the popped up floral on our card. I chose that dark blue color as I felt like that would show up the best, but still become part of the card design, which I personally love. I'm going to run those through my die cutting machine, and then we're going to grab our cards and glue those down in place. So for my card today, I decided to go simple with my embellishments, and we are going to do a combination of some rainbow gemstones in reds and blues that match our small flowers. And then we're going to use some beautiful clear kind of droplet looking drops. And both of those are from Simon Says Stamp. Any kind of embellishment will work here. I just picked something that would help, you know, kind of emphasize our images, but not take away from them. So adding a little bit of that fun embellishment look, but still keeping the focus on the beautiful Betterpress plaid backgrounds and florals. So just gluing down these very detailed die cut greetings right here, kind of along the bottom of our floral image, and it's just right on top of that floral. Let's do that for the other one. And then I love these little teeny tiny gemstones. I think they're perfect. I like to use something sharp like a pick and place tool or something, even some sharp little tweezers to pick up the gems and put them in place so that I'm not touching the sticky adhesive with my finger. So these have adhesive on the back of them. If it's a little gemstone, you know, like a little loose gemstone, I use liquid adhesive to attach those and use an embellishment wand. But the little sharp pointy pick or place tool here works. I don't think it's the place tool, the little, you know, I don't even know what the technical term for it is, but it pops your paper and your dies out of the dies and things like that. So pierce, that's the word I'm looking for. We're going to put all of these little blue and red gems in place, and then we're adding some little clear and kind of translucent or translucent and opaque kind of little droplets to the background. Very subtle, but I love them. And that is it, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed this video featuring brand new April 2024 products from Pinkfresh Studio, including lots of new amazing Betterpress press plates. These are incredible. And again, I can't say enough how much I love these plaid background builders, and I think you guys will too. You can even use them with any kind of card that you want to create. If you want to create some amazing plaid letterpress type of backgrounds, I highly, highly recommend them. The supplies I use to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for joining me today for another paper crafting tutorial. I love being able to share with this incredible community of crafters. I want to give a huge shout out and special thank you to my amazing Patreon members. If you're interested in joining Patreon, please click the link in the description underneath the video here on YouTube. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do. There is exclusive content, information, and behind-the-scenes content. Top-tier members will receive a handmade birthday card during your birthday month, access to D-Stash, and monthly exclusive lives, plus so much more. We would love to have you join our growing community. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new video. Thanks for watching!